Hello. This is the 5th time I have attempted to record this video. The first time I recorded it, I played for an hour. It was a really great video. I edited it down to 20 minutes. It was really funny, not biased, and then I rendered it in DaVinci, and then it didn't render with audio for some reason, and by the time I had noticed, I had already deleted the original footage, so it's gone to time. And then I have attempted many times since. Every time has either run into a technical issue of some description, or I was just not happy with the result. Hopefully this is the last time I have to do this speech. I could probably recite to you every single point that I want to make by memory, and I'm just going to sit here and rant about lightsaber stances, okay? Maybe kyber crystals later if I have the energy. I am going to quickly show you right now the best way to use a lightsaber in the Star Wars universe as established in canon. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. The very, very simple answer, and I know I'm American, so that might be coloring my opinions a hair, but the very simple answer is that guns could be used from a very long distance away, would you believe? And that's sort of a tactical advantage. Now, you might say, but Jedi, I'm not going to call them Jedi, but Force users can deflect blaster bolts, and that is true. However, their lightsaber can only be in one place at a time. So what you do is you ignite your lightsaber, you spar up, you wait for them to do one of those giant-ass haymaker swings that's in all of the Star Wars choreography for some reason. It's one of these. And then you block that, and then while you have their attack blocked, you shoot them with your gun. And then they die. You see where I'm going with here? Speaking of which, we're gonna do a little bit of a tangent about Star Wars choreography. The way that it's done in every film, except maybe A New Hope, funnily enough, is everyone uses these things as if they were like giant Zweihanders. Sorry, Zweihanders? I don't know what the pronunciation is, I apologize. The giant greatswords, okay? They swing it like this. This is fucking ridiculous. And the reason that this is fucking ridiculous is because these blades are established to be weightless, and the strength of how hard you swing does nothing. You don't need to swing that hard because it will do nothing. You should not be using these blades like this. You should instead use them like this. It is a rapier, effectively, not a fucking greatsword. I have no idea. Well, no, I do know why it's like this, and it's because it looks cooler. Let's be honest with ourselves. But logically, if you had a lightsaber and you attempted any of the bullshit that's in the movies, you would die instantly. The only issue with blaster stance is the multi-hit combo I will demonstrate now. I don't know what on earth convinces Cal that he needs to fucking backhand someone with his gun. That would just kill you. Like, you are extending your left arm out, and also probably your most dangerous weapon, frankly, to just get your arm torn off by whoever you're fighting. Now, as for the crossguard stance, as with how the lightsaber fights work, where you do this, the crossguard does fucking nothing. It is hilariously useless. As far as I know, in the sequel trilogy, where it was introduced, it never was relevant. If it was, in any of the choreography, please let me know. But the fact that I think it was completely useless and I have no memory of it ever coming up shows that it was just meant to look really stupid in the trailers. If you font with these things how you're actually supposed to, as in doing this, it might actually have some semblance of use, because then you could deflect it off of the actual crossguard and it would, you know, be good. As lightsabers are sort of established, though, it is ridiculously impractical. Speaking of things which are ridiculously impractical, yeah, this one would kill you instantly. You can even see during the attack animation that Cal has to lean down because he's about to singe his own fucking hair off. This is so ridiculously impractical for so many reasons. The main one is that the real-life weapon equivalent of this is a polearm, a really big stick, which you can lean against yourself, and it's fine. It's what Rey uses, even. Having 2 plasma beams on either side will just kill you. I know that they used the Force as the explanation for why this does not happen. However, if that is the case, and people are able to retain that amount of, I don't know, mental energy, have they considered simply wielding 2 of these? Having both of them come out of the ends, maybe? No? So, apart from the fact that it would kill you instantly if you attempted to use this thing, what else is wrong with it? Well, Cal does not have anything in his other hand. What is he doing? What are you doing, man guy? Like, you need that other hand. I don't care how fucking weightless this thing is, like, you need to use that other hand. You gotta do something with it. You know, you could, like, maybe put a gun in that other hand or something. You know, just an idea. The other stance from this, you know, the one that makes only a hint more sense. Not a lot, because there's, like, a kyber crystal in there, and he's, like, breaking it apart somehow, but it still works, and they're both the same length. I don't know how the fuck that works. Dual-bladed stance is probably canonically overpowered, because, you can do this, and anyone you're fighting dies instantly. Yeah, assuming they have 1 blade. Because, same thing with fighting with a blaster, they can't put their sword in that many places at once, so you do this and they die, no counterplay. The main benefit with this stance, like with blaster stance, is that Cal is actually doing something with his other hand. It's not like this stance where he's just, like, forever holding his hand out, waiting to get, like, a high five from his favorite MMA superstar as they go past him in the aisle. Instead, like, both hands are being used, all of his tools are being used. This is good. This is how it should be used optimally. This stance should just not exist. It should just not. No one should ever use this. Ever. The main problem with the dual blades is not actually anything to do with the dual blades. It has to do with choreography. The way that they are used in Star Wars is that they attack from the same angle. Which doesn't make any fucking sense. Cal does not do this, because he's not an idiot. However, you can... I'm not going to show examples of this, because Disney will probably delete me from existence if I do. You can see it in the Ahsoka versus Vader fight, that she attacks with both swords at the same angle, which is fucking ridiculous. Because it is pretty established that how hard you smack the blades together does nothing. So, there is really genuinely no reason to ever do that. You want to hit from both sides at the same time. You should never attack from the same angle because it would do nothing. It is effectively the same thing as only swinging 1 saber. Speaking of swinging only 1 saber, the last stance I have to talk about is this one, and it is entirely a vestige. It's entirely irrelevant now because this exists. There is no reason why you should ever use this. I'm talking logically here, obviously, gameplay-wise, like, it might have some benefit. I don't know. I don't care. I want to shoot people with a gun. If you are, like... Okay. If you are a Jedi, right? Sorry. If you are a Force user, and you are trying to figure out, like, you're studying what type of... what, like, form should I use, or whatever, there is zero reason to choose this one. And there is all the reason to choose this one. And it's for the exact same reasons I've been discussing basically the whole time, which is Cal's not doing anything with his other hand. You could put a gun in that hand, and, like, seriously, why, like, do I even need to explain this? Like, what is the point? Why would you do this? He also swings this shit like a second grader for some reason, which, once again, you don't do in blaster stance, because Cal actually has a brain when he's in blaster stance, and doesn't anywhere else. So, yeah, this is entirely pointless, although I am strictly talking about, like, logically and lore-wise here. I couldn't give less of a shit about the gameplay benefit, because I like using what makes logical sense, and shooting people makes a lot of logical sense. This is not even mentioning that parry this casual is an actual gameplay mechanic. Jesus, fuck, this game is loud. But yeah, if you shoot someone right before they hit you, they do not have a good time. The timing is really fucked, but the concept is good. Okay, I'm gonna go over this last point quickly because I don't want to do this again. I really, really don't want to do this again. So, I don't know if this is intentional commentary by the devs of this game on lightsaber colors or not. I suspect it's probably not. However, Cal can at any time in the entire game go here, go to the blade, and change it to whatever the fuck color he feels like. This is just how lightsabers should work. Your color should mean nothing, because otherwise it is basically a mood ring that knows your future somehow. The only ones which have, like, canonical reasons for existing are the red ones, where you have to, quote, bleed your crystal, as you can see Dagon does in that one cutscene, and it makes no sense there either. I don't even know what the fuck happened to that cutscene, but he sure made that blade red. Or the white one, which is you get from healing a red saber, which also I don't know what the fuck that means. As for the other colors, like this one, I believe is like basically just being really good at hitting people with a lightsaber. And if you get this one, like assuming that the color is decided by God or whatever, the Force is basically telling you that you can't study for shit. I much prefer this way of doing lightsabers because, as currently established in Star Wars, the Jedi are to at least an extent factually correct, because they used the Force and no one else does for some reason. I much prefer this interpretation, that the colors actually just mean nothing. Like at all. Like they have no meaning. And what I think is most important, the most important takeaway, is the color better be decided by the person who gets the crystal, not by the crystal itself, because otherwise, like, it really takes a lot out of it. It should really just be whatever the fuck color you like most, and not like, I don't know, whatever God decided was right for you. Okay, last bit. In the Clone Wars TV show, they show off that kids go to that one planet that's in the first game, Ilum, I think, to, like, get their crystals, and apparently that's where all Jedi ever go to get their crystals, which is hilariously stupid, because, every single Jedi ever got their crystal from this planet. This would be, not only would it be mined the hell out, like bounty hunters would have, like, would be, like, basically fucking living there, and logically, like the planet of Ilum, first off, would be extremely popular, especially because Jedi are this sort of, like there are entire factions dedicated to murdering them. So, like, the Sith would just camp out on Ilum and murder anyone who tried to come there. So not only is it, like, extremely stupid in that respect, it's also completely, like, logistically fucking ridiculous. Because on this very planet of Jeddah, it is established to be mining kyber crystals in Rogue One, and they have fucking crates full of them. And you're gonna tell me only the ones on Ilum work for Jedi. Sorry. No, only those ones work, and also you have to do it as a child. I think that's my last point. Oh, no, I do have one more. One more. I know everyone's Cal is gonna look different to an extent, right? But you cannot convince me this guy is straight. There's no fucking way.